Merry Christmas, everyone. We are here live on our set at our breakfast table for Good Morning Football. Will Selva, part of our family, wishing you and yours a very merry, happy, and healthy Christmas.
And same to all of you. Once again, we will be off tomorrow, so can't wait for that. It is an exciting day for the kiddos. Yeah, absolutely. Well, the Steelers' playoff hopes will rest on the healthy shoulder of Devlin Duck Hodges. We say healthy because the shoulder of fellow backup Mason Rudolph is anything but. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reporting Rudolph will be out multiple weeks. According to Ian, even if the Steelers make the playoffs, Rudolph's injured shoulder is expected to make him unavailable. Rudolph came into the second quarter of the loss to the Jets only to exit. Paxton Lynch will be the backup. Another quarterback who is seeing his season end early is rookie Dwayne Haskins. Rap Sheet also reporting Haskins suffered a high ankle sprain. He underwent further tests on Monday. Interim head coach Bill Callahan ruling Haskins out for the season finale against the Cowboys. Case Keenum will be under center instead. The season of fellow rookie Kyler Murray may not finish prematurely. Also, according to Ian, an MRI revealing nothing alarming about Murray's hamstring. Murray has a minor hamstring pull suffered in the win over the Seahawks. The Cardinals will see how he progresses this week before making a final determination on his availability in the season finale against the Rams. And now to the latest on Leighton Vander Esch's neck. NFL Network's Jane Slater reporting doctors determine a minimally invasive surgery will fix the nerve issue in his neck. He should be back well before training camp, as reported by Jane. LVE has been sidelined for the last 5 games. Vander Esch has battled neck issues since his days at Boise State, and we've always looked at wonderment at his neck roll. Probably explains one of the reasons why he has it, but otherwise, good news there on Leighton Vander Esch and his neck, and he should be good to go by the start of training camp.
Not enough Mason Rudolph puns from you in that first story, I gotta say. I'm gonna give you like a 5 out of 10 on the entire report. Get your stuff together, Will.
All right. I'll do better. Do my job.
I'll
do better.
Get back in the lab. In the meantime, let's talk about those Cowboys. Their performance week 16 had fans in Dallas scratching their heads, and they're going to need some help this weekend if they want to save their season. With more on everything Cowboys, Jane Slater tells us what's up.
Thanks, Kay. I know you covered this game pretty extensively on Monday, but on Monday afternoon, we got, of course, some more details about why they decided on 4th and 8 not to put their 2 wide receivers on the field. No Randall Cobb, no Amari Cooper. Now, Cobb had 3 catches for 52 yards in that drive, but he was curiously off the field. And then Amari Cooper, well, I was told that he had gone on a go route, then a 7 route, and they thought he was too gassed to do yet another go route. So they thought they would take advantage of the Eagles' defensive backs, who were struggling against smaller, shiftier receivers. Enter Tavon Austin. Dak Prescott ultimately got the ball to Michael Gallup. It didn't end up working out, and that's how the game ended. It was Jason Garrett, who on 105.3 The Fan was asked who made the play call, and he said, well, that was Kellen Moore. And the decision to rotate those receivers, Sanjay Law. Bringing in once again the question, is this head coach Jason Garrett holding himself accountable enough for some of the woes this season? Okay?
Appreciate you, Jane. Let's go to Nate on this one. We heard Garrett's explanation for, of course, not having Cooper and Cobb on the field at the end of the game. You heard what Jane said that he said. What's your reaction to the coach sort of tossing blame at his staff and his OC?
Man, they passed the blame better than they passed the ball. Talk about, let me not take too many unnecessary shots. They're dealing with a lot in Dallas. Here's the thing. I made a statement yesterday, a little bit of a rant about players staying on the field. Now, if that was indeed Kellen Moore's decision, I'm going to have to say, Jason Garrett, why was it Kellen Moore's decision? If you're the head coach, wouldn't you have final say of who's on the field in the final moments of a game that matters more than any other? It could be true, but in my history of the game, whenever your star players want to be on the field and need to be on the field, they will be. So what I see in this moment, it's somebody shifting and deflecting the criticism. And I feel like with the seat heating up under Jason Garrett, I guess that's the next best option instead of just saying, that's my fault.
Does a true leader need to take the blame and sort of protect everyone else?
I don't think there's anybody really taking the blame in Dallas. You know, after the game, Dak Prescott said, well, we all made mistakes. I got to be better. We all made mistakes. He's saying it's everybody's fault. The OC hasn't really said anything because Kellen Moore doesn't have a microphone over his face. Jason Garrett is shifting it. Jerry Jones is shifting it. So right now, there's not one person that is raising their hands because you know what? Kyle said it yesterday. It's collectively the Cowboys' fault.
There's no one whose fault it isn't. This feels like rats scurrying on the Titanic. It was his fault. It's his fault. It was a terrible football moment where even if you liked the Michael Gallup matchup, you have Amari out there. You have Cobb out there. Again, you had all your timeouts. It's the biggest play of the season. If you're not right, hold on a second. Let's get the perfect play. They didn't. And the thing is with Garrett, for years, he doesn't point the finger. The seat has always been hot on Garrett. He doesn't do this. That's why it feels like end of time. And I'll tell you this, they're playing a Redskins team this week that I feel like Bill Callahan has them more together and more channeled and more focused as an interim guy who's been on the sidelines for years than this guy who's been a head coach for over a decade. I do not think the Cowboys are going to win this game this week, and I'll put it out there. I just don't. And this moment just proves it. This is a low moment. They're going on a local show. I mean, going down to the receivers coach, it's unbecoming. It's unbecoming.
Last-ditch effort, kind of.
Yeah, like maybe like this some sort of Hail Mary, but like, again, the plane won't take off. It's so perfect.
Sanjay Lal sitting at home saying, whoa, the season's on me. I'm the wideouts coach. I'm trying my hardest
He's
here.
interviewing for jobs.
Yeah, here's how this season might go, though, because it's been the weirdest season I've been a part of. NFL 100, things are tipsy-turvy. If the Eagles lose to the Giants and the Cowboys do, in fact, beat the Redskins, who are the second worst team in the NFL, the Cowboys still go to the playoffs.
Yep.
Like,
Home.
It is crazy that we are burying the Cowboys after that Eagles game because they didn't clinch. But in a weird way, the Giants are playing as good of an offensive brand of football the last 2 weeks as any team in this division.
No.
And I could fully see the Giants at home with that crowd all of a sudden enthused after, okay, we're not getting the top pick in the draft. I could see the Giants beating the Eagles. And I could see the Cowboys beating the Redskins. And then you've got this weird deal where we've buried a team, the Cowboys. We've spent 72 hours talking about how bad the Cowboys are. And we've got to suddenly talk about, wait a second, they're hosting a playoff game next Saturday night.
Jakes, what if they both lose?
If they both lose, the Eagles go.
Okay.
Okay, because the Eagles right here
Yeah.
are going to be 8-7. The Eagles go if they both lose.
Okay.
But if the Giants beat the Eagles, which is not crazy,
No.
and the Cowboys beat the Redskins, the Cowboys are going to the playoffs.
What's going on with the Giants right now? I mean, they're
They're like hot.
are they? How are they playing loose? Like, what's
Saquon
working
had
for them?
200-something yards. Like,
There's nothing to play for. And I've always said it, when football players aren't stressed by the pressures of the beginning of the season and having to try to make a playoff run, you can play as free as possible.
The coach too, Nate.
Yeah,
the
coach,
Shermer.
it's like whatever. I remember playing against Matt Flynn late in the season.
Look out.
Literally the 17th game. Aaron Rodgers already knew he was going to playoffs. This dude had I thought he was the greatest quarterback I've ever played
touchdown
against.
passes.
Yeah.
He got signed by Seattle off of one game. So they're playing loose. But getting back to what you said, Shay, you said that, the Cowboys, if they win and the Eagles lose, they're in the playoffs. So don't bury them just yet. Why not, though? As much as I am a Cowboys apologist, as much as people call me a fake Cowboy, it's like in the words of the late, great Denny Green, they are who we thought they were.
I know. Yeah. Look,
They are who we thought they were. As much as I kept saying, listen, they have the most talent. Kellen Moore's going to figure it out. Jason Garrett's going to get these guys to rally. Bro, this is the time of the year where you are exactly who you're supposed to be.
I'm just saying, don't throw that Zeke Elliott jersey in the trash compactor just yet, and maybe don't do the video where you're screaming about the
You might want to
Eagles.
skip all that, in other words?
I'm just saying, we might have to go through this entire routine again. Like, look, I'm done talking about the Cowboys. They don't deserve to be talked about. And yet, they're like Freddy Krueger. They're not going anywhere. Like, there's a chance that we're talking about them next week, on next Monday, as a home playoff.
I've always thought that's the worst thing they have going for them this season. No matter how many games they lose, yeah, but wait, we could still win the East. In fact, even after the loss, Dak said, he's like, we've always had that thing, and now we kind of don't. Now we're not in first place anymore. Maybe if it's been taken from them, they're finally in the right column, maybe now, but all our eyes say they could still win the East. But none of our stomachs, our hearts, or any other part of us are going
7
to.
o'clock Sunday night, we're all going to be looking at that scoreboard, and I promise you, this is not going to be Eagles 41-0 Giants. The
Oh, for
Giants
sure.
are coming to play, and I can assure you, come fourth quarter, the Cowboys, their pulse is going to be alive and well, because that Giants team is going to give everything to the Eagles.
Week 17, very meaningful stuff. We've got a fresh edition of Total Access coming your way, by the way, tonight, Christmas Eve evening at 6 p.m. Eastern, a special time. Let's see what Scott Hansen and Willie McGinnis have in store.
Good morning, football. Scott Hansen here alongside three-time Super Bowl champion Willie McGinnis. Tonight on NFL Total Access, it's almost hard to believe that the Cowboys are still alive for a playoff spot, Willie. How's this one going to go down in Week 17?
I think this one has already went down.
Some would say that. The NFC East to be decided on Sunday. So, too, is the final playoff spot in the AFC.
Steelers lost it, Titans have it, and the Raiders, they won it.
All three are still in play. Question now is who gets it? We will break down the possibilities. We're also going to have a special guest. Seahawks linebacker Bobby Wagner will join us on the possible return of Marshawn Lynch. Tonight, 6 Eastern, NFL Total Access.
That's right.